What will their world look like when these creative and talented citizens of the OECS grow up to be adults? What about the future of the grandchildren? Now that we have heard the scientific predictions of climate change, do they even think about how climate change will threaten their very existence? The next generation will inherit a totally different world. Are they concerned about the ominous predictions of climate change? Do they care? And are they aware that their very existence is being threatened by worsening weather patterns? Cricket is a great pastime of the people of the OECS and the English-speaking Commonwealth Caribbean. It is an outdoor sport that can range in duration from 6 hours in the shorter format of the game to 5 days in the longer format. But nowadays, players complain that the sun seems hotter than usual, forcing them to take more frequent water breaks.
For the past years, the sun has been overwhelming. Today, I was wondering if cricket should still play in sun, because I mean, it was extremely hot.
Because of the intense heat, players are also opting for uniforms that keep the body cooler.
Well, of course, climate change, we're feeling in the hot sun. The sun is real hot. It's getting real hot. It's hotter than ever, so we are very concerned about climate change.
In addition, they are expressing a preference for more evening games in order to reduce their exposure to the sun's intensity.
When they wear in a gear, like the uniforms, wear something lighter instead of something that will attract the heat, something that will cause the air to flow through the uniforms. That will be a much more comfortable area when you're on the field in the hot sun.
But what does this increase in temperature mean for the next generation? How is it expected to impact their games, their lives, their future?
Right, it won't make real sense coming to the tropics because, you might be in Alaska and you might be sitting there in the sunshine.
There is increasing awareness among young people about the issue of climate change and how it's going to impact their lives and their communities.
Climate change most likely kills agriculture and stuff like that, so basically it damages our agriculture.
The raising sea levels can cause the nearby towns, villages and beaches can disappear and stuff.
Everyone depends on the air and the water. It is good for us, and we must keep our water and surroundings clean.
If we have to secure a better future for young persons, we must adopt new sustainable production and consumption patterns and promote the idea of young people becoming climate change ambassadors in their local communities. Some youth are already taking initiatives such as advocating for a green economy.
And that's a critical thing. It's a different way of thinking than we had in the past 50 years or so.
It's definitely about sustainable development. That's the whole purpose of the green economy. And it's development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to also meet their own need. It also means leaving a better resource endowment than which we had inherited.
If there's a campaign that says, for youths that say, we are not buying soda because you are not disposing of the materials properly, all the soda companies will switch their production methods to ensure that it is ecologically sound. So we cannot discount the fact that the youths have a very, very powerful voice.
Somebody will have to take the lead really and say this is something that we want to do for ourselves and not really rely on the government or government department or a private entity.
Get involved with things like legislation reform, push our ministers and the government to ensure that we have up-to-date legislations.
There are many ways in which young people can get engaged in discussions on actions on reducing the impacts of climate change. Here are some ways. Encourage sustainable lifestyles among your peers. Promote the use of renewable energy sources. Encourage your community to build adaptive capacity and resilience. If you are in school, your teacher can help you undertake science projects relating to the impacts of climate change. Share your findings with your friends and your parents. Or you can start a Facebook page or online discussion on very simple things that you and your friends can do to minimize the impacts of climate change.
Act now. Rally. Rethink. Respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat, with funded assistance from the United States Agency for International Development.